I wanted to share something that I've started here, actually just today, but I think I'm going to continue because I've really liked how it's worked out. Most of the things I make I give away as gifts, or I'm making to sell on my Etsy that I'm trying to set up. And so I never have record of what I've made, and I always, think back, I'm like, I really love how I did a certain thing. But of course I don't have any reference for it. So I've started doing kind of like a sketch of all the projects I do. And for this one, I've actually sketched my card out before I made it. And that's the first time I've ever done that. And it's actually, I think, helped me a lot because I'm a very slow scrapbooker. I just don't, not that I feel like I can't do it, but I just feel like I'll do this, no, I'll do that, and then I spend a half hour on a flower, and it's just crazy. So I really like this because I put my design down, and then I just had to cut everything out and do it. And so that really helped me a lot. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this image here. She's from some Odd Girls, and I'm not sure what the name is. I think it's Merci, or Mercedes, however you say that in French, hello in French. I will definitely put the correct name down below in the box when I find out what that is. And I've just listed all the markers I used, because this is actually my Copic book, but I'm going to turn it into my kind of sketchbook as well. Well, it says so. And so I've done this on one page, and I've written down all the markers I used on her. And I'll list all the markers down below in the box as well, because I know it'll be hard to see here on the paper. And then on this side, I've put the papers that I'm using. They're both from SEI. This one is from Couture. It's called Lace. And I actually put the number of the paper, so I'll be able to contact the company, or I can try to find it at my local scrapbook store. And then this one here is by SEI as well. It's, the paper is called Sunny Day, but unfortunately this strip that I glued down has the name of the actual paper. So unfortunately I don't have that. I know I can look it up somewhere. I haven't had a chance to do that. And then over here I put, this is some string. It's actually sewing string. Let me show you. This is the first time I've ever done this, but I actually really liked it. It adds, you think such a little thing wouldn't add that much pizzazz, but I'll show you here on my card that I've made. I really like how it looks. It's almost like twine in a way, but twine is thicker, and I wanted something a little more delicate. So here's my sketch. I'm planning on using the Martha Stewart flowers. I have, I'm a hoarder. I think most scrapbookers are hoarders. And so I've been trying to pull the things out that I've been hoarding forever and starting to use them. So you might see some of these things in several projects, but it's just because I'm trying to use them. I figure if I use them, I can buy more stuff. That's my philosophy anyway. So this is the flower. So I didn't really try to sketch it out to perfection, obviously. And then the thread here. And I'm going to have the two papers. The purple is going to be on top of this silver one. And then where I want my stamp, and where I want the thread, and where I want my words. Now, this is not meant to be an exact replica of what your card is. This, for me, was a jumping off point. Because, like I said, I just wanted to really kind of speed up my day, and I wanted to sit down and really think about what I wanted to do. And so, this is how my card turned out. I did change a few elements, but everything is still there. I just kind of moved stuff around a little bit. And this is how the card turned out. As you can see, I moved the thread from the top to the bottom, and I actually put the image underneath the thread, so it's kind of going through across it. And of course, I moved the flower over as well. And then the words I did on just a strip of paper. And here I would think I was planning on doing individual little, either a strip, or originally I was planning on just cutting out the words and putting them on, but the card turned out a little bit, I really like how elegant it looks. I think with the silver and the purple, that I didn't want to junk it up with cut up words. So that's why I just decided to use just a normal strip of, it's actually it's just a piece of card. I have extras, like if I mess up a card, I'll save it because I know I can cut it up and use it in other things. And so that's all that is. Space at the bottom here is because once I actually make the card, I want to sketch exactly how it was made. So I'm not going to probably take the time to do that here. Well, depending how much time we have at the end, I might go ahead and sketch it on here. I'm not a great artist. You don't have to be a great artist. You just want a general view of what you want your card to look like. I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you some of the elements of the card and how I did them. So while the camera was off, I went ahead and colored my image just so I could have that done for this video. If you like the image and if you're wondering how I did it, I would be more than welcome to do a full video on the image. I have to say that this is my first successful blonde hair. I'm always doing dark hair because I can't figure out how to do blonde. And it's more obviously like a dirty blonde, but it's got some blonde in there. I'm pretty proud of that. But I wanted to go through real quick and just show you which markers I used. For the face, I did E00, E51, and then R00 for the cheeks, which I just left a little bit light. I didn't want to do too much. For the skirt, sorry, I'm getting into my light here. For the skirt, I did BV00, and then I added BV23 on top, so I kind of went over it, and then just along where the lines are indenting, like where the fabric would bend, I did the darker color, and then on the bottom I colored it in all the way, just so the bottom would be a little bit darker than the top. And then I did the same thing for the sweater. I did the BV00, and then just a little bit of the BV23. For the actual shirt, I used N01 and N02. And then I added just a little bit of the BV23 just to give a little extra depth. I thought when I first did it, it just looked too light with just the two lighter grays. And then her eyes, I actually did something unusual for the eyes. Let me see if I can get this brought up for you. I started out with BG70 right here, which is Ocean Mist. And then I did, I actually went back to the original purple that I used, which was the BV00, and I did it right on the bottom. And you can't hardly see it now, but you can get just a little bit of tint. You can't really see it here on the video, but here I can see just at the bottoms there's like a little bit of grayish purple, and I love it. So I did the BG70 first, which is a real light blue, almost like a kind of a, like, it's called Ocean Mint, so it's almost like a green. And then I went over it with the purple, just like on the very bottoms, just around the edge. And then I went around with the darker color, which is BG72. And then for the hair, let me go ahead and set this down. For the hair, I used E21 E31 Y32, and then just to add that little extra kick of blonde, I did Y02. You can be very sparing with this, because I thought I'd ruined the top of it. It looked muddled, but then kind of settled and it looked okay. If you add just a little bit of it, I would add it just like right in the highlight, and then go over it with the other yellow, and that tend to tone it down to give it a little bit better color. So those are the colors I used. I'm going to pull all my stuff out. I'll be right back. Now, because I didn't have any paper that matched my purple background paper, I used a Copic marker V06 in my Copic airbrush system, and I colored the paper. I don't do it a lot because I haven't had a lot of experience, and that's also why I really haven't done any kind of tutorials on YouTube about it yet. But I'm trying to learn, and this one actually worked pretty well, so I was happy for that. And after that, I just let the paper sit a little bit. Copic markers, as you know, they don't take too long to dry, but I did want it just to be able to set, because the longer it sits on the paper, the more mellow it kind of gets. And I'm going to put a glimmer mist on top. I love this sparkle glimmer mist, or I think it's called shimmer mist. And because it's just glitter with no color, but I've run out of that because I used it so much, so I had to end up using my Frost, which has glitter and a white or almost kind of like a silvery overlay to it. And it's not so much so you won't still be able to see the pink underneath the paper, but you know. And the thing I'm using to do all my spraying in is actually just a drawer that's come right out of one of my plastic systems that you can get, you know, cheaply at Walmart or Big Lots or whatever you have in your area. It works really well. And that way I don't have a box or anything just laying around that I don't, can't store. And I just put it right back into the drawer back into its sleeve, and it's all set, and I don't have to worry about it. So now what you want to do is really shake up this glimmer mist before you use it, and then spray it. You'll notice that your paper is going to wrinkle horribly. Not wrinkle, but curl. But don't worry, because once it dries, it flattens out back on its own. This paper didn't do it completely just because it's so light, but most scrapbook papers will. So since the video was a little bit short, I thought I would go ahead and draw my sketch on here the way I did it. And look for a video coming either later today or, let's just face it, probably tomorrow, And I want to do a video on card making techniques and tricks. Or maybe it might be named something about stamping tricks. But just simple things that you might know but maybe have forgotten about. Because there's a lot of things I see and I'm like, yes, I used to do that. Why am I not still doing it? So I just wanted to give you guys some hints and tricks on that. So look for that coming up. I'm going to draw this one a little bit bigger than I did my other sketch because I wanted to make sure I had room. I am horrible at drawing straight lines, so just please forgive me. But I just try to do the best I can. And I want this one to be pretty big because I want to make sure I can really see what I did. So I'm going to start, I think, by doing the two mats. I'll do this, and I'm going to leave a space for where my sewing thread was. I'm going to go down and across. See? Not good. But, you know, this is one of my resolutions to not be picky. I have a hard time at not being picky. Trust me. Especially drawing at certain angles is not as easy as others. But, you know, this does not have to be perfection. This is just about showing, you know, remembering how and what you've created. So I'm going to probably have to spin this way a little bit just so I can have a better angle at it. And I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be the thread here. I'm going to draw this here. And you do end up having to do a little bit of erasing. So just make sure that you have a good eraser. The eraser on this pencil here tends to smear quite a bit. And so I usually end up using an eraser from a different pencil, which I'll have right here because I know I'll need it. And so then after that, I'm going to go ahead and do the mat for my picture, for my actual image on the picture. And that goes the full length. And just so we can get a good feeling of how things are going to look, I'm going to erase all this in here because that's on top of all that. And we'll do this and this. And I'm simply just going to write image in here. Or I could write stamp or whatever you want. It's your little sketchbook, so that does not matter. And let me just go ahead and do that here. And then I'm going to do, I think I might actually do this in the middle and make it a little bit thinner just so I can really show, maybe down here. Just so we can show how it gets thinner towards the center there. And then I'll do my flower. My flower was pretty big, so that's probably how I'll do it. I know that's not perfection, guys. And then I'm going to do my thin strip for my words. And I'll just write wonderful and awesome. And there it is. I mean, it's just a very rough sketch, but now at least I have a memory of how I did this. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and that it helped you. Try sketching things out. I really didn't think I was going to like it or that it would even help, but I really enjoyed it. And I think I might start doing my project like this from now on. Alright, guys, have a great day.